Laura found out about NAET while watching News 12. At the time, she was desperate for an alternative to the bag of medications she needed to survive. While critics charge NAET has not been adequately studied, Laura says it's been 3 years since she was cleared of her symptoms, and she feels better than ever.
I had mostly environmental issues, but I did have some food. I had issues with egg, milk, dairy. I was cured. I really would love to cure other people of this. I'm not on any meds, and I just love it. Living life. It feels good.
Hi, my name is Karen. I have been taking NAET for a couple of years now. I had a lot of allergies before I started, and I heard about this technique, and I wanted to clear them at the source as opposed to just treating the symptoms. So I came in for a number of things. I used to have a very severe allergy to fish and very sensitive to wheat and gluten. It would make me tired and sleepy and just feel generally sluggish and bad. And now that I've cleared it, I don't have a problem eating wheat and gluten. My sensitivity to seafood and fish has dropped remarkably. That's a big change in my life. And I'm really grateful for Dr. Chow's help and for NAET as a methodology, because I think it is pretty life-changing.
My name is Chrissy, and I was at work one day and my coworker noticed that I was sneezing a lot. And she said, "What's going on?" And I said, "I don't know, I must have eaten something that I'm allergic to. There's a lot of things I'm allergic to." So she said, "I have a doctor for you, Dr. Chow, and NAET." And I went in, and my biggest allergens have been gluten. And so it's been amazing to be able to just eat whatever I want basically and not have any reactions and just have a lot more freedom in my life. It's just a really wonderful treatment. It's totally easy, and yeah, I'm really grateful.
My name's Elise Weisberg. I came to Dr. Chow several years ago. I was so sick. It really was to the point where I could eat nothing and feel good. I knew I was allergic to dairy and gluten products, but I didn't realize that I was allergic to so much more. And I was referred to him and thought, why not? Let me check this doctor out. Not only was I cured of literally at least 40 to 50 allergen food products, I'll just never forget the first time I went into the grocery store after, and I actually cried because I felt like I could, for once, shop for things that I loved or wanted and not for things that would make me not sick.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and I've been coming to Dr. Chow, getting NAET, and my life has transformed. I used to have a very, very limited diet, and now with NAET, it's been crazy how I can now eat all these different foods. I used to have brain fog, and now I don't. So thank you very much.
My experience with NAET, first of all, has just been wonderful. My main issue was that I could not tolerate wheat products. And when I got treated, I was able to eat bread again, organic bread. That brought such happiness to me. So I would say to anybody who's interested in doing this to go for it. It just being able to know that the inside of your body is being repaired and being restored just the way that it's supposed to be. If you have any kind of reservations, just go for it.
I had a pretty severe egg allergy, and so I heard about NAET from John, and I went in for a couple treatments, and after about 3 treatments, I was able to eat foods that had egg in it.
I was allergic to probably about every vegetable and fruit you could possibly imagine, and wheat and calcium.
After her first NAET treatment, she says she saw results.
It's made a big difference in my life.
Karen no longer suffers from allergies.
It's amazing.
I've discovered I have lots of allergies, many food allergies, but most of them were ragweed, trees, grass, dogs, cats, and eggs were a really big one too. And Dr. J mentioned the NAET, allergy elimination, and I decided that I had nothing to lose with that because I was doing the allergy shots, and those were making me worse. So I tried it, and it worked out amazing. I'm able to go outside, be out in a field of ragweed, and not be able to breathe. I'm able to eat eggs now. I've done that, and I can be around dogs and cats. So it's a lot more, life's a lot better now that I don't have as many allergies. I've also noticed that headaches have been kind of started because of allergens also. So I would recommend Team Care to anybody who is having any issues with neck pain, shoulder, back, allergies. There's just so many different ways that they can help you here, and it's great.
Hi, my name is Pat, and I'd like to talk about my allergies and Dr. Ayler. I had these strange outbreaks on my legs, on my back, under my arms, and they were getting worse and worse. A lot of itching that would never stop, and I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. I did receive a flyer from him over the time that I've been here in Camarillo, and I thought, this is probably the person I should go to, just on a hunch. So I did. And he told me straight out, straightforward, that either I go to the hospital or we work here at the clinic and get rid of the allergies. I would rather do it the holistic way, and so we set out. It took about a year, but through the muscle testing, through the testing of what to eat, what not to eat, we found that I was allergic to about 30 different substances: foods, chemicals, pesticides, cleaning fluids, even laundry type chemicals. And within, I would say, the first 6 months, we began to see that the itching, the oozing, the scaling began to go away. And by a year, all of my symptoms, all of my outbreaks everywhere had cleared. This was absolutely a miracle. There were no scratch tests ever. There was no injections. As a very satisfied customer, I can't tell you how much this process and this kind of procedure to get rid of the toxins in the body, to clear the skin up, I can't recommend anything more highly than this process because it literally saved my life.
Hello, I'm Dr. Lisa Polivoy, and today I will be interviewing the mother of 2 patients of mine. She brought her children in to see me for NAET treatments for food allergies. What's interesting to note is that allergies can affect a person not only physically, like with digestive issues or getting congested, but also mentally and emotionally, causing them to be angry or to throw fits or to not be able to concentrate or to be hyper or to break down. So here's our interview. I hope it's helpful, especially to parents who have children with allergies. So thank you for coming to the interview today. Can you describe what it was like to have your younger daughter have allergies, what allergies she had?
My younger daughter I brought when she was about 2, and at that time she had allergies to peanuts and almonds, cashews, pretty much any nut, as well as eggs, dairy, gluten, soy, and nightshades, including tomato, potato.
And how did they affect her?
Different reactions depending on the food. For some, like eggs and peanuts, she would throw up if she had them. And for others, it was diarrhea, a lot of irritability. So she wasn't sleeping well at night and would just wake up crying, very difficult to console. And her mood would just fluctuate, where she would just break out crying at random times during the day and would be inconsolable.
And she also had skin rashes, right?
Right, she also had a lot of eczema, especially from the nuts. She would get eczema and eggs, and I was also breastfeeding her at the time, so anything I ate also affected her.
How was she during the treatments?
In the beginning, she was very reluctant and felt that she didn't want to be here and cried, but over time she relaxed, and we had to work with it to see how she could hold the substance. If it was in her sock instead of in her hands, that worked out, and we have to make adjustments. But now she enjoys coming and has, I think, really warmed to the process and sees the difference. Because I kept telling her, this is to help you to eat more and to feel better. So I think that also helped along the way.
And how has NAET treatments helped your younger daughter?
I think she's grown a lot in the process in terms of her age, but also her temper has changed a lot, her temperament, where she's a lot more relaxed. And I actually feel like I'm more in tune with her body, where I'm able to tell if a food has bothered her more, because those outbursts are a lot less than they were before. So she's calmer, she sleeps a lot better. She doesn't have that same irritability that she had before when she was eating those problematic foods.
And how about her eczema and skin rashes?
Her skin has cleared up. It's amazing what a difference it made. Even after one treatment, she had a reaction to peanuts right before we treated her for peanuts the week before, and then we went in for treatment, and then 3 days later she had peanuts and there was no reaction. So it was so clear to me that it was gone after just the one treatment, and it was pretty quickly that the change happened.
And what was it like receiving treatment?
It's been great. I think that Dr. Polivoy has had a warmth with both my kids and a way of connecting and making sure that they're comfortable and feel that they're listened to as well and engaged in the process.
And after your younger daughter's treatment, you decided to bring in your older daughter. Will you explain how old she was and the allergies she had?
My older daughter was 5 when we started, and she's 6 now. And she has kind of similar issues, but not as much with the nuts. She has had ongoing issues with eggs, which in the beginning when she was a baby was eczema, rashes on her face, as well as intestinal bleeding and vomiting. And then gradually it became more just digestive issues, diarrhea, stomach pain, and other issues with nightshades, tomatoes, potatoes, peppers, eggplants. Those have been mostly digestive, but also mood related. So she gets very angry, irritable, also quick to cry, where her personality really changes if she has those foods. And just becomes very combative and challenging at home.
And what was it like for her to receive NAET treatments?
Well, for her, I think she was pretty motivated because she had seen her younger sister doing the treatments and was kind of jealous that she was able to eat other foods now. So she had that motivation. It's definitely been worth it. I think our quality of life has improved. My youngest daughter was really challenging as a child, and not being able to pinpoint also all the issues that were going on with her was really challenging. And so I feel like once the healing started to take place, then everybody became happier, and now they can eat so much more. It's easier for me to cook, and I don't have to worry so much about them being in pain or waiting for the next reaction to happen, and so much of the mood fluctuations. But I think we're all just happier and having a more balanced life.
And last question, would you recommend NAET for other parents, and what advice would you give them?
I would definitely recommend it. I'm pretty confident that it's working for us.
One last question that I didn't ask, which was, what's it like for your older daughter, who's now 6, to be able to eat like French fries with ketchup, something she could never have before?
Yeah, for my older daughter, I think she's handled her food intolerances pretty well, but now as she's getting older, it's hard to see other kids who are, having something so simple as a pizza or French fries and ketchup, which she hadn't eaten in years, and it's huge for her. And I think she feels more like socially accepted, and she talks to her friends and say, guess what, I had ketchup, and it's huge. So I think that it doesn't cause her to have to grow up so quickly and to deal with such big issues so quick, and to feel a lot happier.
I hadn't been feeling well for about 2 years. I've seen 3 or 4 different rheumatologists. Nobody could seem to help me or knew what was wrong. Here, try this medication and I'll see you in 3 months. So I would just leave feeling defeated. Like, what was the purpose? You're not helping me. You're just giving me more medication. I would sleep a lot. I had a fever for almost 2 years straight. Usually it was low grade, occasionally it would spike, but I never felt well. There wasn't really a day where I felt myself, honestly. I got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. My skin was breaking out, I had rashes everywhere. There was no hope in sight. I finally decided to stop taking on the medication, stop seeing the doctors, because I was just constantly disappointed and more upset. And I had met you a year earlier, and you told me that you could help me, and I thought, okay. I dragged my feet for a whole year. It wasn't until I was at my wit's end and ready to give up that I decided, let me give this lady a try. It was the best thing I ever did. It's been since September was the first time I saw you, and the first day I left you, I felt hope. I felt like one day I was gonna feel better. And here it is a few months later, and I feel like I can move mountains and do anything I want to do now. It's just great. I don't take anything. I don't take Benadryl, I don't take an Advil, I don't take a Tylenol, I take nothing.
Hi, my name's Michelle Rao, and I found Dr. Chow through my cousin, actually, who had seen him, and she recommended him to me, and I came to him because I had a rash on my leg following a vacation in Hawaii, and after 3-4 months it was getting worse and worse, and it was spreading on my leg, and it was a really itchy red rash, and it wasn't going away, and it was getting a lot worse. So I thought I would, I thought about seeing a dermatologist, but then I remembered Dr. Chow's name from my cousin, and I thought I would come and see him, and he treated me, or he found out that it was a double bacteria infection in my leg, and so he used the NAET process to treat the infection, both bacteria infections, and it took a few weeks. It got slowly better, but then after about week 3 or week 4, it completely went away, and I didn't do anything else other than the NAET treatment that Dr. Chow did on my leg. So it was amazing to see, after months of intense irritation and itchiness, that it completely cleared up and went away and hasn't been back, and that was over 2 years ago. So I'm still coming for other things, and I've had my daughter come as well as my son. We've been treated for different allergies as well as colds and coughs, lingering things that don't go away very quickly. I've come and he's really helped both me and my kids as well. So it's been a wonderful resource to come to for lots of different things, whether it's allergies or sickness or rashes. So we're still coming for various things, and I'm so thankful that we found the NAET process and found Dr. Chow as well.
Hey, I heard that you had some great news to share with us about some problem you had that we've been working on helping your body function better with NAET and nutrition. And can you tell us a little bit about what happened?
Yeah, hi, my name's Jen, and I struggled with skin issues for about 10 years. These little tiny blisters, patches of blisters that would come and go away and then come back. But it was like pretty much right after the next one would go away, another one would come back. So I struggled with that for the last 10 years. And a doctor told me that I had a wheat sensitivity. And then I told Dr. Johnson that, I wanted to try to see if I was allergic to nickel and the NAET. And sure enough, it was pretty bad. And so now I've been working on it for, about a month and a half. And I'm like all cleared up from my skin problems in the last 2 or 3 weeks, so I'm really happy about that because it was really sensitive. You know, imagine having little blisters under your fingertip or something.
So it could be
And,
painful.
Yeah, it was painful, like you're like almost like a burn.
Ow.
Yeah, so it was like very sensitive. And so yeah, I'm really happy, and Dr. Johnson's really been helping me out. So
All right, well, that's excellent. It's really amazing all the interesting things that people come in with.
right, and you figure
Mysterious
out,
problems.
right.
And then NAET has been able to help us help a lot of people with some very interesting problems.
Yeah, and now I know it really helps because this was an actual skin problem
Right.
that was visible and, you know,
Yeah.
painful, and it's totally gone.
Hi, I'm a patient of Dr. Natalie's, and the reason I started coming here was I was seeing a bunch of different allergists. I was having hives from head to toe, and no one could help me. We suspected outdoor allergies, food allergies, but they just couldn't pinpoint it after tons of medications and testing. So I decided to come here. She was recommended to me by a friend, and I would come. I had so many different things that I was allergic to. I started coming about 2 times a week, and in about a month, I stopped getting hives, and I've had no hives for about 5 weeks now. And I just definitely recommend her for the NAET treatment, which I've gotten, and that's pretty much it. I recommend her to anyone.
Now, Lynn, you came to us a while back. Can you just give us a quick rundown of what brought you here?
I had suffered with chronic hives for approximately 6 months.
And then what way did they affect you?
Head to toe, red, angry, itching hives.
And where did you go to try and get help?
My doctor, my internist, sent me to an allergist who tested me and said unexplained chronic hives.
And then what were some of the suggestions that you should do to take care of the symptoms?
A regimen of antihistamines. The only relief I got was with oral steroids. He said to go on, I could have the option of going on a chemo drug that might help get rid of the hives, or a shot once a month of an asthma medication called Xolair that costs $4,000 a month. And my insurance said no.
Oh.
So I was looking for alternatives.
And how did you find us?
Through my hairdresser. She's a patient of yours.
Okay. So what did we do?
You cured me within 2 months. I'd
With
say.
what did we do? We used a procedure called
NAET.
Yep, NAET, and we took that medication you were taking.
It was a blood pressure medication that I had a reaction to. The emergency room told me that.
Yeah.
But the allergist said it wasn't that.
Right.
So you tested me with that medication, and that was it.
Yeah. And so you had noticed that the medication had a color change, so perhaps the generic had changed manufacturing of some type.
Right, it went from pink to blue, and they said it's the same thing,
But prior to its color change, you were fine with it.
I was fine with it. Yeah,
Yes.
I've been on that medication for 20 years.
Right. So
And
then,
within 2 months, I was having this
Right.
issue.
So then,
But I didn't connect it until you said something.
Oh.
And then it went, oh yeah, they did change that pill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we just worked on it with various combinations of things, and today you came in saying,
Haven't had them in a couple weeks.
right. So we said, we think you're ready to graduate.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So how has that changed your life that you don't have all this
Oh.
itchiness?
I'm able to plan my life, live my life. I can go out and go for walks. I don't have to worry about any exercise or anything breaks you out worse, makes it itchier, and you're more uncomfortable. And I can work without
Great.
taking extra time off. It's great.
Well, good. Well, we're excited for you, and so congratulations.
Thank you. I owe it all to you guys.
Well,
I
another
appreciate it.
success. We're thankful for Dr. Nambudripad who brought this to the world, and is just happy to be able to help another person.
It's been great. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nina. I'm here to talk about my son Martin and his journey with eczema. When he was born, his eczema started a few months later. He was pretty miserable by the time he was 18 months old. He was covered in severe eczema. He didn't have much eye contact, severe diaper issues, diaper rash, digestive issues. And that's just to name a few symptoms. I decided to come see Dr. Stewart when he was 18 months old to see if NAET would be a good option for my son. We started treatments, and shortly thereafter, his night terrors disappeared, and slowly symptoms started dissipating. His digestive issues were gone, he was happier, and soon enough, his skin was clear. His eczema was gone, and it's been 1 year, and he's now able to wear shorts. I had to keep him covered all the time. He's wearing shorts, he's happy, he's playing, no more diaper rashes. eye contact, and no more digestive issues, just to name a few.
My name's Ben, and I first heard of Dr. Chow from browsing Yelp, looking for NAET treatment in the Bay Area. And the reason I came to Dr. Chow was because I was getting eczema from what I thought was mainly gluten, a gluten intolerance. And when I finally got testing done from Dr. Chow, I found out I was allergic to a whole range of other allergens. And in the past months, I've been getting treatment, and now I am happy to say that I'm eczema free.
My name is Tiffany Belzer. A couple years ago, a friend recommended Dr. Chow to me because she had severe allergies. And I'd been struggling with eczema for over 10 years. And since I've been seeing him, we've been able to control my allergies. So things before I wasn't sure what was flaring. He's been able to identify what the big triggers are and to treat them with the NAET. And since then, I've had really good results because before I'd have really bad flare-ups with my face and my hands, and now it's really just localized where he's still treating me for the things that I'm allergic for, but it's gotten a lot better. The flare-ups are less often and less intense, and I'm very pleased with the results, and will continue the treatment until I'm allergy-free.
So when Raymond was roughly around 6 months old, we discovered he had severe allergies. About the time we transitioned from breast milk to formula. One of the ways that his food allergies manifest itself is through skin irritations, and specifically eczema. Poor kid's been battling eczema since he's been about 6 months old. He's now 2.5. You can still see that it does keep him up at night. He does scratch himself pretty bad. There's specific spots that are always consistent: backs and knees, ankles, tops of his feet, his thumb, between his thumb and his index finger, and then his back in certain spots from time to time flare up as well. We've gone through traditional medications such as steroid creams, which we know are terrible. We give him antihistamines almost every night to try to help him with the flare-ups and the itching. We came in 2 weeks ago we went through the full NAET treatments, the full 15 standard treatments before working on some of his other common food allergies. Since going through his treatments, he has improved significantly. He's able to eat some things he wasn't able to eat before. Corn, as an example, from the time he was started the treatments to now. Most recently came in, did a treatment for eczema, and within 3 days of us walking out of his office, sorry, see ours is going off. Within 3 days of the walking out of the office, his eczema almost completely disappeared. Had not seen him look that clean and clear since he was probably close to 6 months old, so it was really, really great.
Now, you're describing the eczema and the quality of it. Like, for example, you said before it was...
Yeah, so before, if you take this for example, this spot right here between his index finger and his hand, before this was a completely open sore. In between this area was a constantly an open sore for probably the past 2 years on both hands. So you can see now it's just kind of red and it's healing. Also, you can see his hands in general, even though there's still some eczema splotches on it, they're not dry. It feels like it's not scaly. It just kind of looks like some open wounds and him scratching. Right, pal? Yeah. Yes. So he's definitely better. I mean, it was so scaly and dry before. If he would make a fist, his hand would sometimes crack. I mean, it just would split. So I mean, yeah. Yes, knuckles. So a definite significant improvement in looking forward to it going away completely for good.
Okay, my name is Steve, and I've been doing NAET for about a month now. And I came here because of the eczema on my arms, which is almost completely gone. Just had one breakout. It's basic.
Okay. How long have you had your eczema?
I've had my eczema my whole life. It comes back seasonally, mainly in the summertime when the allergies are bad.
And what else have you tried for it?
I've tried other types of allergy testing with foods and stuff, and really none of it ever worked.
And how do you think this is going for you compared to everything else?
So yeah, it's worked so far.
Hi, my name is Liz, and I have brought my family to Team Healthcare
for about 11 years. We have 5 kids, and we bring all 5 of them for various reasons. We first started out when I had a son who had eczema really bad on his cheeks and on his hands to the point of bleeding. And the only way that the medical doctor would treat that would be first with steroid cream. And I didn't want that for him. So we brought him here, and through adjustments, he virtually was eczema free. From there, we were determining what was causing the eczema, which ended up being food allergies. And over the course of the years, I guess all of my kids have gone through the NAET treatments for different reasons, and that would be the allergy elimination treatment. We've also come here for ear infections or sports injuries, anything that you would normally go to a medical doctor for. We come here and see the doctors here. I'm a strong believer in God creating our body to heal itself. And when we come here, I know that they are going to do everything possible to allow that to happen without the interference of drugs in our bodies. So I'm just a true believer of doing everything we can to naturally heal our bodies without the other interventions.
I had these recurring patches of skin on my hand. I started developing thickened patches on my fingers. It exploded on my knuckles basically. Every fold on my finger would dry and the whole area is left with a crater of raw flesh that you could see. It always used to pain. I was with English medicine. They started me off with various creams. Then I switched to homeopathy for a while. I recently heard about this clinic called the NAET Healing Center, and I came here. By the second session itself, I had almost a 40 to 50% reduction in my physical symptoms. Within 6 sessions itself, it is as you see it now. Bioresonance was the first therapy that brought immediate results. They didn't give me a long list of things to do, not to do, things to avoid. I'm living actually a normal life. I'm actually happy. I would recommend this to everybody. And for the first time, I don't have to hide my hands.
I've been going for NAET treatments since September. I had really bad dermatitis. I had, my skin was breaking out everywhere, like painful, like ones, like I remember one in the middle of my forehead and stuff that it was just like pressing out, and just really like, wow, it was difficult on my ego, itchy skin, oily skin, dry patches on the skin. So I was like having everything going on with me. So what has changed with NAET for me? Again, I've mentioned the skin stuff. My skin's a lot better. I'm more comfortable with it, and I'm not scared to look in the mirror like I was, because it was that bad. I'm gonna keep on continuing with it because I am seeing results and I am seeing my health sincerely, truly improve from, where it was a few months ago.
For the last 12 years, from spring to fall, I've had a condition of itchy bumps that have been blister-like, and over the years have gone into more like a hive rash. I've gone to a primary care physician, 2 allergists, and 2 dermatologists. And I said to my dermatologist, I can't live like this. What do you recommend if I was your mom? And he said, well, don't go in your garden because I think it's bugs in your garden biting you. And I thought, no. So I had a friend who had a rash different from mine completely for 2 years. She took the NAET treatment and has been itch-free for 5 years. I thought, well, I have nothing to lose. So I started the treatment a year ago. I have never had a rash since I started with Dr. Nixon.
Conventional medicine offers little hope. There are some pharmaceutical trials that are going on, but they are not really promising, and with all of the data and research that's going on right now, most parents are really worried about their children when they're diagnosed with autism.
Roger was expelled from nursery school. He wasn't able to go to a playground.
He would spin things, he would repeat constantly, he would fixate on things, and he wasn't really speaking.
It was very blank, almost like, to be very blunt, talking to a wall.
Probably the best way to describe it was kind of like in a vegetable state, just non-responsive to anybody around him.
He would not be able to look at you. He would not interact.
Very to himself. You talk to him, he was not listening.
Non-invasive, no needles. It's a 20-minute treatment that's very simple.
As a parent, you want to try to find something. You're searching for something that might work, and you're actually looking for it, but it didn't. We tried things for a little bit of time, and you'd realize that it wasn't working. NAET, within 2 weeks, we saw an immediate result, and we said we have to keep going. We have to keep going, keep trying. month after month, we saw results.
The best thing about this program is they're able to make it special for each kid so that they can work with your child with exactly what's going on with them.
Being in their own world, completely autistic, and now they are in our world.
It's working. I mean, this is a different child. This is definitely a different child.
John has improved and gotten better every single week, and we've seen phenomenal things from him, and we are very grateful.
She's so much more focused. She looks at me when I talk to her. She's speaking fabulously. She's almost a different child from about a year ago.
She really doesn't have very many, if any, issues, and she's developing tremendously. I think that we have NAET to thank for all of that.
For the first time at the age of 4, he told me, "Mommy, I love you." And he touched my cheek, and it was the best moment. And I never thought I'd ever have that moment or that interaction with him. And it was so real. And I knew from that moment that this was going to give us our son that we always wished for.
I had severe brain fog. I was not getting any sleep. I was very tired. I was congested. I tried some alternative treatments. Nothing was actually working. I tried the neti pot. It didn't work. And I did the NAET treatment. I've had 6 treatments and I felt amazing. I'm about 90% better. But I don't have those sleepless nights. I'm very productive now. I can think. My brain is clear and I feel much better and I look much better.
Hi, my name is Judy Light, and I came to see Dr. Chow a couple years ago. I was having trouble sleeping. That was my main problem. And then I did a number of NAET treatments for various allergies, including sugar. And I found that giving up sugar has been really easy. Now I can have it or not have it. It's not that big a deal. And my sleeping is much better. Before I was using Benadryl and caffeine and all kinds of unhealthy processes. But now sleep is natural and I get tired at the right time and sleep pretty well. So I am very happy with the changes I've gone through. Thank you.
I started treatment with NAET last August. I got a virus, diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome, ME. I really crashed and my immune system went haywire. And since then, every single treatment I tried has made me worse. And I found Helen. She's been treating me. I'm no longer close to death. Treatment included massaging down my spine. I was very, very relieved and happy. Within about 3 or 4 sessions, I was able to eat foods like chicken. It's given me hope. It's expanded my diet. It's given me a deeper understanding about why I am reactive to substances I eat. I think I've got an opportunity to get a lot better.
Hi, my name is Kathy. I'm a patient of Dr. McMillan, and I'm getting the NAET treatment for a couple of months now, and the results have been incredible. It's changed my life. I can get up in the morning. I don't have constant pain in my hands. I have the energy to go shopping and cook food. I just highly recommend Dr. McMillan. It's really changed my life.
Stomach was just really upset. Like I had a hard time. I just would go to bed really early. I had diarrhea. I had very severe stomach pains that would keep me doubled over. After coming here for 6 months, I feel like I haven't had that. I was having headaches and I was treated for the headaches and I haven't had them either.
Hi, my name is Victor Sunwall, and I'd like to just tell a story about my son Alex, who's now 13. And when he was about 5 years old, he'd had a lot of problems with inner ear infections and sinus infections. And a lot of it was tied to some allergies that he had and some allergic problems that he had. And we'd doctored with him for a long time. And we'd actually come to the chiropractic clinic for adjustments to help with his drainage and stuff. And he had got really good results from that. But his primary care doctor talked to us about putting him on getting shots for his allergies. And we were not obviously thrilled about doing that with our, at that time, 5-year-old son. And it was at about the time when the clinic here was starting with their NAET treatments. And Alex was one of the early NAET patients that they had. And the NAET procedure of, tied to the food allergies and stuff. Alex went through it, and after going through the treatment, there were the 10 food allergies, and there was 2 other things that we tested him with. And ever since then, now as I said, he's 13, he's had no further problems with any sinus infections or ear infections or any allergic reactions. So for us as a family, the NAET treatment really cured him of something that we thought was going to be a lifelong problem for him, that we were going to deal with these allergies and the problems that he had due to the allergies. But because of the NAET treatments, we haven't had any problems with him since. So Alex continues as a patient with the clinic, just coming in and getting routine maintenance, but has had no further problems with the allergies. Today, there's nothing that he's not able to eat. He's, as a 13-year-old, he eats everything. And so no, he hasn't had to restrict his diet at all because of any of the allergies or any problems he had before.
Hi, my name is Tammy. I have been diagnosed with lupus. And that started a trend of terrible medications that would cause horrible side effects. It was oral chemo and steroids and anti-inflammatories that would cause acid reflux. It would cause me to lose my hair. It caused me to gain weight. It just was awful. It made me exhausted all the time. Then I found out that my kidneys were starting to fail because of the lupus. And so I was back on those oral chemo and steroids just to get this lupus under control. Then we found out that those medications were affecting my liver. So we had to try a different medicine, which was a biologic, and that wreaked havoc on my body. I felt hot and exhausted all of the time. And so I asked a friend of mine that I knew believed in alternative medicine. It made me feel so much better almost immediately. I'm off of all the medications altogether. My blood work looks better than it has in a really long time. I'm finally able to enjoy life and I feel like myself again.
Hi, I am a neurologist by profession, and my son had a lot of problems before. He had frequent infections. We were using antibiotics to get rid of them, but never had any good luck. They kept on increasing the generation of antibiotics, like they were doing first generation, second generation, third generation, to treat the infections. Also, he had some problems with breathing. He had asthmatic attacks. 2 times we had to take him to the hospital and give him regular inhalers. So somebody at his school told my wife about Dr. Johnson. That's how we came to know about him. Because of my background, I'm from India, and we use the Ayurveda in our daily life to treat the things at home, minor things. So when Dr. Johnson said about this allergy elimination technique, we thought we should give it a try. And since then, he has been having he almost have very rare infections, and if he does, Dr. Johnson prescribes some homeopathic or some herbal stuff, and he gets really relief really quick. So biggest thing is that we don't have to use antibiotics. And the same thing with his asthma, he doesn't take any inhalers, no visits to the hospital. And I'm really surprised by this, using allopathic medicine, and I'm myself being an allopathic doctor. So I really highly recommend using the alternative therapy for a kid or for an adult that they have any problems, because given the success with Aman, I'm really impressed with it. And I'm also thinking of incorporating the alternative medicine in my practice as a neurologist, because I see a lot of patients where we have to use very medications with a lot of side effects. If I can use something benign or healing alternative therapy to help them, it would be great.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Thank you for that share. Excellent.
Obviously, I've been so pleased with the whole process that when my grandson was having problems with depression and lack of focus and acne he'd had for years and unable to get rid of, his mother and I had often felt like part of it was diet. And he probably had an allergy to wheat, among other things. So just recently I have brought him here it's been about 2 months, been under very intense clearings. When he came, he had been overtreated medically with a couple of different, prescription medications, not illegal drugs, but all prescription, but over-medicated, mismanaged. he was ill. He was depressed, brain fog, unable to concentrate on anything. He was really needing help. And he was able to get off all the medications and is feeling better physically. We still have some work to do, but I think one of the things that has been so good about your whole office is that you surround yourself with professionals who can assist with not only with the detox, but with counseling and, other disciplines, both, emotionally and physically, to help out the patient. So it's all, such a good holistic approach. I think it's what, in addition to your care, helps make it successful.
I've been a patient of Dr. Jackson's for over a year, and I originally came because of chronic fibromyalgia pain, which I've had over 12 years. Now that I'm able to, I'm looking forward to getting back to exercising, being more physically active, biking, especially with the spring and summer coming, just knowing that I can get my body stronger.
Hi, my name is Dan. I'm here at the Healthcare Clinic because of the seasonal allergies. It's something that I've dealt with as long as I can remember my entire life, spring and fall. And always in search of the right medication to alleviate allergies and not make you drowsy and so on. And this spring in particular, the allergy season was really bad. It was just kind of the tipping point for me. So I came across NAET and decided to go ahead with the treatment. And over the last couple of months, I've had a very positive experience. I would have to say that as of now, from this experience, very happy.
Hi, my name is Bianca, and this is my son Harper. And we always come to Dr. Chow as soon as we're not feeling good. My son got pretty sick and was snotty and coughing and very congested. And then we brought him in, and what happened? Did Dr. Chow make you feel all better?
Yeah.
We did the NAET with Harper, and he was better almost 24 hours later. And then of course a couple days later I got it and I was very sick, and came back in 2 days later and I'm already feeling almost 100% better. So the NAET really works. Thank you, Dr. Chow.
Hey guys! Today I just wanted to talk about allergy treatments and which kind I've been getting and how much it's helped me. For the past 2 months or so, I haven't been able to post any videos because I was very sick. I became allergic to everything, and it got to the point where I couldn't even leave my house. Every little thing set me off. I was in and out of the ER constantly. Anytime I tried to eat, I felt like I was choking and my throat was closing. I was in a really bad place. So I got desperate and I decided that I needed to get some sort of medical treatments, allergy treatments, because mainstream medical doctors were not helping me at all. They, in fact, tried to tell me it was all in my head and that I was crazy, and they sent me home with anxiety medication, which was just really, really annoying because I knew it wasn't in my head. I knew my body was reacting to something, and I ended up seeing a naturopath, and from there I found out about something called NAET or NAET. It's a type of allergy elimination technique. Basically, NAET saved my life. I mean, there was other factors as well, but without it, I honestly think I would have died because it got to the point where I was surviving off honey and boiled water for almost 3 weeks. Even water was making my throat close. Yeah, you can be allergic to water, by the way. I was desperate, and I decided at this point I'll try anything because I'm not ready to give up. I don't want to die, so I'm going to try anything I can get my hands on. I go for treatments twice a week, and I absolutely love it. Basically, this technique is based on the premise that everything is made out of energy, including humans, including my couch, everything. Everything is made out of energy or matter or whatever. I'm not a science person, so I don't really know the proper terms, but we're made out of energy, electrical energy. And along our body, there are energy meridians and energy pathways of different energies that go through your body. A lot of people are very confused about what NAET is, so instead of trying to get all scientific, I'm just going to explain it in layman's terms how I understand it. So don't quote me on this, you might want to talk to a doctor about it or do more of your own research. So with NAET, you go in and you hold a vial of the allergen, and while you're holding the vial, your body knows that you're in contact with it. Even if there's glass between the liquid and your skin, your body can feel it in its energy force. So you're holding it, you're in contact with the allergen. Then the NAET practitioner will use either acupuncture or acupressure. I do acupressure, I'm a little bit scared of needles. But anyway, he does acupressure along certain points of your spine on either side while you're in contact with this allergen. And what this supposedly does is it releases the energy blockages that they're either caused by the allergy or they cause the allergic reaction. I'm not too sure on the specifics. Anyway, it works. Then he uses a little tool like this And what it does is, after treating the acupressure points along your spine, you're still holding the vial with the thing you're allergic to. And so that's like the treatment or whatever. But then you have to treat your gate points. So you use this thing and it vibrates. You can probably hear it. Anyway, and then you do treatments on all the points of your body. So one of them is right here on your hand. And then there's another one right here. And there's some all along your body. And you do a whole rotation. There's some on your legs and stuff like that. So treating the spine, treating the gate points, all the while you're holding the vial. Then you wait about 20 minutes while you're still holding it and it's still in contact with your body. Yeah, and then you rinse off your hands with just water after the 20 minutes is up. And you have a list of things that you need to avoid for the next 25 or 26, I do 26 hours to be on the safe side. But for instance, when you're treating eggs, you have to avoid chicken, you have to avoid eggs, feathers, and you can't come within a 10-foot pole or 10-foot radius of any of these things. So if you live with someone and they're eating eggs, it can affect the treatment because you have to do strict avoidance. And that's where it gets tricky. It can be really difficult for like small children or people who live with other people or need to go to work or something. But since I'm out of work right now, I just stay home for 26 hours after each treatment. I avoid everything on the list that I need to avoid and only eat the foods that are considered safe foods. You'll be given a list for each treatment. Anyway, basically that's all it is. You hold the vial, treat the acupressure points along your spine, treat your gate points. Oh, and when you go home during the 25 and 26 hours, you treat the points yourself. That's why I have one of these. So I treat my own points every 2 hours for especially the harder treatments, and it helps to enforce the treatment. Honestly, it's helped me so much. It works. After peanuts, my most severe allergy was eggs, and now I can eat 4 eggs a day without a single symptom or reaction, which to me is a miracle. So this doctor saved my life pretty much, and I still continue to go for treatments twice a week. It's really up to the patient how often you want to go, but since I have so many allergies, I don't want to be sick forever, so I go twice a week to try and get through it faster. Most recently, I got treated for stuff dealing with multiple chemical sensitivities, or MCS. I'm getting a lot better. I'm getting a lot healthier. The fact that I had the energy to do my hair and makeup and make this video was a huge deal for me. Usually it was laying on the couch or in bed all day, no energy, feeling like crap. I still have those really bad days, but my good days are becoming more frequent and they're lasting longer, so it's a really good sign, I think. Anyway, love you guys. Mwah.
I first heard about NAET many years ago when a friend of mine's daughter wanted to go on a mission for her church, but she had so many allergies, she didn't think she would be able to do it. And her mother sent her to an NAET practitioner. She was treated until all her allergies were cleared, and then she went on her mission, no problem. Didn't have allergies since then. And when I heard that story, I thought, well, that's wonderful, wonderful. You know, I didn't think it applied to me at all until over the last couple of years I realized that I've had quite a few allergies that I couldn't seem to avoid, and a lot of times we learn to avoid whatever we're allergic to. Mm-hmm. And so I was allergic to gluten or anything made with wheat, and I got so that I was so sensitive if it was cooked on a pan that had gluten on it before, and it became almost impossible. It became very difficult to avoid gluten, so I would get headaches all the time. I just thought, well, I'll just deal with it, right? Until I found out that I couldn't eat hardly anything without having a reaction to gluten, and then I contact the NAET clinic here in Buena Park, California, and they were able to help me a great deal with clear my allergies, and they had an accelerated program, which meant that I didn't have to fly back and forth, and I didn't even have to live here if I don't want to, and so that helped me a great deal. Even some of the things that I thought were not related to sensitivities were helped, and even some of the emotional things that I felt like I was just stuck. I had gotten to the point where I thought I was going to just get up every morning, exercise, eat breakfast, and then rot in bed until lunch, and then eat that, and then rot in bed until I went to bed. The accelerated program, the first 17 treatments happened in the first week, which is very accelerated according to the books, but I even wondered how it would be possible, and it was not easy, I will say, because, you know, a lot of avoidances that you're supposed to avoid whatever you've been treated for. You're supposed to avoid it for 24 or 25 hours. So we decided to come for 1 week, except for I just had a feeling, and after talking to Dr. Keith, I really, he wasn't the one that suggested it, but I realized I need to stay because there's a lot more treatments between the basic 17 and then there's a lot after that, and there were things that I had severe allergies to, like latex and chemicals and things like that weren't in the basic 17 that I wanted to be treated for. It's much preferable to spending your life allergic to everything and not being able to enjoy life, and so we just decided, well, we don't want to go on cruises. Those are pretty expensive. We'll just spend it on NAET. I feel a little bit more capable of living life now, and it helped. I feel very healthy in life. I can go on with the rest of my life. So that's my story.